This weather report brought to you by Dulux. Worth doing, worth Dulux.
Dozens of flood-affected properties are being listed for sale following this year's disaster. In some cases, the houses have been partially gutted, but for buyers priced out of the market, they could present an opportunity.
20,000 properties were impacted by February's flood. Now there's a deluge of damaged homes for sale, like this three-bedroom in Oxley.
It needs a lot of work.
It has no walls and needs electrical and plumbing repairs, but it has potential, says the agent, at the right price.
It is easy to get renovated and then back on the rental market, and it just goes very fast.
Some owners are renovating, others are trying to offload. This Rockley house is listed for just $399,000. A three-bedroom in Oxley needing renovations has a $490,000 price tag, and a Jindalee Renovators Delight has an asking price of $549,000, far below Brisbane's median house price of $740,000. Using the 2011 floods as an example, some of the hardest hit suburbs are today desirable areas. Experts say it just takes time to recover.
Look, there is money to be made.
But a word of caution.
Especially right now, we're noticing that tradespeople are very hard to come by. Everyone's very busy now and costs are up. But the banks are also going to look for whether you have the available funds in your account to finish off that project.
And the market is slowing after 7 interest rate rises in as many months.
We have seen that buyers are being a little bit more cautious about how much they're borrowing. They are taking longer to make decisions.
Putting more power into buyers' hands. Laura Dimmick, 7 News.
Back to the weather now, and Tony, what's the latest on those storms?
Well, Max, it's all clearing north after that burst of severe weather across parts of the southeast early this afternoon. We're seeing some stunning photos coming in from a number of places. This was the view as it swept through Yamanto. A big thanks to Mr S Photography for sending it in. Now onto the radar. That band swept through southern parts with the worst conditions on the Gold Coast. A short, sharp burst of rain through Brisbane. Now clearing north with remaining activity over the Bay Islands and the Sunshine Coast, where severe thunderstorm warnings remain current. Zooming out, we've seen widespread storms across Queensland today. Warnings remain current for areas north of Kingaroy and up to south of Emerald, and also areas inland of Townsville and Cairns. Now, looking ahead, storms today should continue to clear towards the coast tonight. Then another round is likely tomorrow, possible from the southeast, but more likely across those central and northern districts along the coast and ranges especially. Then more rain on the way later this week. Longer term, we are expecting a low to push across from the Gulf into the Coral Sea, but the atmosphere is not looking likely that it could develop into a tropical cyclone. Too much wind around for now. Having said that, we are expecting a burst of strong winds and potentially some extra rain on the coast, and we always need to watch these systems. Now around the capitals tomorrow, Sydney looking sunny, a top of 24 degrees. Perth heats up to 37 and cool for Melbourne and Hobart. Back to northern Queensland, storms along the coast and ranges tomorrow and lingering into the later parts of this week. 31 degrees for Cairns and Townsville. Over southern districts, again, watch for those storms pushing towards the coast later tonight, then another round into tomorrow afternoon. Emerald and Rockhampton also around that 31 degree mark. Back to the southeast, a cooler wind change moves through the Gold Coast. Storms are less likely there tomorrow, top of 28, but instability does remain further north. Afternoon storms, possible severe cells for the rest of the region, but probably more spaced out than today and only likely for a couple of locations. I think the icons here make it look a bit worse than it should be. Across the suburbs, staying hot. Oxley up around 32 degrees, Kenmore 31. Bodie's variable winds early, turning southeast and northeast in the afternoon. So in Brisbane, a possible shower or storm, 20 up to 31 degrees, and longer term we start to see a little bit of light rain by Wednesday afternoon, cooling down to 25 degrees. In Ipswich, also a little bit of rain, more likely into Thursday, just 21 for the first day of summer. Gold Coasters, you'll likely miss the rain Wednesday, but developing on Thursday. But Sunshine Coasters, wet Wednesday and Thursday, then easing back to showers from Friday onwards. Sharyn and Max, today storms are clearing, but there could be a couple more on the way.
It is that time of year. All right, thank you, Tony. Now, before we go, here's a look at a special report we have for you tomorrow night.
Hundreds in savings if you switch. The rush to get pre-Christmas credit card deals. While the banks are hoping you won't move. Lower rates, $0 fees, much longer, interest-free. How savvy Queenslanders are locking in big savings. 7 News. Tomorrow.
And that's all from us this Monday. Thanks for your company.
The latest is at 10:30 tonight, but for now, from all the team, have a good night.
Good night.
Stream 7 News anywhere, anytime, live and on demand on 7 Plus. And with 7news.com.au, you'll know the news now.